Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? It's Monday, and I've got a lot going on here. I'm going to soft release the quail sometime this week into the cabana. I only have about 2 girls that go in there to lay eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close off. I'm going to close off the coop door, open that up, just in case the girls want to go lay eggs. But I'm going to soft release the quail into the cabana. We're going to see how that goes. They need to get out of that aquarium in the bathroom. Stilts, I need to put him down. He needs to be put down for his quality of life. He has no quality of life. I raised that little booger. I got him through his rectum, his prolapse rectum area thing, just for him to injure his leg to the point where he is incapacitated. So I have been taking him outside and letting him be outside, and he's enjoyed that. But he's he needs to be put down, and that's a really hard thing for me to do because I love little Stilts. He's cute, and I was hoping that he would grow up so that Gandalf would have someone of his own kind back there in the minutia of birds that Gandalf lives with. But it didn't work out, and it's very sad. Little Stinky Possum, I've already turned him loose. I turned him loose a couple mornings ago back to the edge of the woods. I don't know if he was ready or not, but I'd had him for over 4 or 5 weeks. I'm pretty sure. And I think it was time for him to go. So the last ones to release are the quail. But like I said, I'm going to soft release them into the cabana area, and then they will have all of that area to grow and move on from. I don't want to put them inside Solomon's fenced in area just so that they have a little extra chance. I really don't have any cats right now coming up around here. So they'll be good. And then we'll release them into the cabana yard area, and then they can move on to wherever they're going to go. So quail are getting ready to be released. I might show that, or just, I don't know. We'll see what I can do. It's hard for me to film things the way that I have to film them. So we'll try, but still has to be put down. And that's breaking my heart. That's a this week thing. Whatever day that I make that decision and do it, it's going to be hard. I'm just saying. Okay. Um, let's just talk about what's going on right now, politically speaking, humanity speaking, and Trump supporters kind of looking at Trump in a different way right now. I'm not going to say I told you so. It's implied. Okay. So I watched Turning Point. They had Laura Ingraham on there. They had Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, blah, 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 blah. But what was telling was when the audience showed their disdain over the Epstein files. Laura didn't know what to say, did she? See, they've been leading people for so long with propaganda just to get those votes in. Support Trump. Because Trump was just the vessel for the votes to put the Heritage Foundation into place with Project 2025. Say what you want. If you haven't read it, well, that's on you, because that's where our country is headed in this direction. Period. Here's the thing. Tucker Carlson, he is a Russian asset. Okay? All of his talks and everything that he has always put out to you all who are MAGA Trump supporters is that Russia is good. Ukraine is bad. And it's actually the opposite. So the idea that Ukraine is being sent weapons is really throwing a lot of MAGA Trump supporters into a tizzy. Okay. Um, Here's the deal. Russia wants to take over Europe. And he thought that with Trump in place that he could do that. So when Trump would say, stop bombing, Vlad, stop bombing, Vlad, Putin's like, what? He ain't gonna listen to him. He ain't gonna listen to anyone. He knows that Trump is weak. He knows that Trump is not in charge. And it's a fact. Okay? So anyway, you've got MAGA supporters that are very upset over sending these weapons to Ukraine. And Trump says, well, I didn't know that the weapons had been halted. Whatever. Yeah. Once he realized that Putin was no longer a good ally for him, now let's go ahead and send what we're supposed to send, what we've already said that we would send. So Trump has switched that up on you. Hey, should have been done all along. We should always support Ukraine. Period. The lies and the propaganda that like people like Tucker has spread out there about Zelensky and Ukraine and trying to make it as if they had started this war, which is crazy. Putin is a war criminal. When he went against the Union, NATO, all of that, when he went against them and went after Crimea, he became a war criminal against treaties. Now that he knows that Trump is weak, he's not going to listen to Trump or the regime. I mean, you've got to understand that. Putin is a war criminal. And Tucker Carlson is a Putin sympathizer, follower, and an asset to Russia. And he has spread all of this crap for you to believe about Zelensky and Ukraine. So, they're not happy about that. The Epstein files. Laura Ingraham, when she wanted people to to ask the audience there at Turning Point, if you're happy with Trump and you're happy with this and you're happy with that, they didn't respond the way that she wanted them to. The Epstein files are very important to understand. They are there. And Trump is trying to now make you think, oh, wait a minute, Obama and Biden and Hillary Clinton and the corrupt whoever was involved made this seem like that Epstein was a pedophile and that all of these people were on a list. It's because he's hiding his involvement with Epstein. And I don't know how you can hide that. I don't know how anyone can be for a pedophile. I mean, some of the self-incriminating stuff that Trump has said, videos, the fact that he was on the plane list, the call list, and all of that, the things that he has said about 14 through 16-year-old girls. And you know, with all of that, that should be enough to understand that he's a pedophile. Okay? And now he wants to pardon Maxwell. These people have lied to you, have scammed you in order to protect Trump from his past. Period. Like I said in another video, I don't care if Epstein was murdered or not. I really don't care. He was a sick person trafficking little girls as sex slaves. And Donald Trump has been part of that, but now wants to distance himself. But he also don't want you to see the files. You see, that's another reason why MAGA is turning a little bit against Trump and this regime. But the reason I will never have open arms to MAGA Trump supporters who are turning their back is because they are absolutely okay with this mass deportation, people treated like animals, concentration camps where people are treated worse than animals, definitely treated worse than my animals, and you're still okay with that. You're okay with being racist. You're okay with being against humanity and empathy and understanding what our country is. We are the melting pot. And you're trying to turn us into a Christian nation where it's going to be against the law to practice other religions. You know, here's the thing. I have heard this. This is what I've heard. There's a war on Christmas. There's a war on Christians. We can't do this. We can't do that. I've never, ever, ever seen where Christians were told not to practice Christianity. But if the Christians, the white Christian nationalists, get their way, they will make it against the law to practice your religion or your spirituality. That's a fact. And so that's where some of us go with this humanity, understanding, empathy. And even though they're upset about the Epstein files, they're upset about sending weapons to Ukraine, they're still okay with the inhumane behavior, the inhumanity, the unconstitutional behavior of this regime. They're still okay with it. They're still okay with the unconstitutional behaviors of our government, and they're okay with the lack of humanity to these people who live here being put in concentration camps and treated inhumane. Period. So I cannot sympathize with MAGA voters who are now kind of turning on a couple issues, but the issues that I'm concerned with are the rights and liberties of other people and the humane treatment of others in this country. So, with that being said, when a MAGA person goes, I really don't like what they're doing here, but you like the cruelty and the unchristian and unconstitutional behavior. So I still have no empathy for you. I'm not going to hold hands with you and bring you in and hug you because now you're seeing that Trump is a scammer. He's a scumbag. He's a fraudulent businessman. He's a sexual assaulter. And he could be called a pedophile because you know damn well he's in them files. You know he is. You know he is. How could he not be? So, to us who are not MAGA, we've listened to all of this. We understand all of this. But you're still okay with the cruelty. Bye, y'all. Hugs from a distance. I gotta go.